Today we're going to discuss how to be a real U.S. Marine. And the answer is not going to your recruiter and going to boot camp. The real answer is you're never a real Marine, as I learned when I was in the Marine Corps. Because when you first join the Marine Corps, they say, well, you're not a Marine until you graduate boot camp. And that one made sense. So I was like, okay, you graduate boot camp. And they say, well, you're not a real Marine unless you go to combat training, infantry school or something. I was like, that kind of makes sense too. And then it was, you're not a real Marine until you reach the fleet. And I was like, all right, fair enough. So we reached the fleet. And then they're like, well, you're not a real Marine unless you deploy. And so we deployed. And then they're like, well, that was a MEU. You're not a real Marine actually unless you have a combat deployment. I was like, okay. So they sent me to Afghanistan. And I was like, all right, man, I had a good deployment. And they're like, would you kill anyone? I was like, no. And they're like, well, you're not a real Marine yet. And then among those people who have done all that, I'm learning new rules, and they only exist within the Marine Corps. You're not a real Marine unless you could fall asleep on command. You're not a real Marine unless you died in combat. Only then.